Are you in the market to buy the best bridge camera? Look no further, as we've got all the latest models with the best prices right here. For those unsure what a bridge camera actually is, think of DSLR style handling, with the advantage of extra long zoom lenses and without the expense or hassle of having to buy, pack and carry multiple optics in your bag. Number 1. Sony CyberShot RX10 4. For those looking for a powerful all-in-one solution, you won't find better than the RX10 4. Featuring a hugely flexible 24-600 f/2.44 zoom lens, the RX10 4 builds on the RX10 3 with an overhauled AF system that now does justice to the rest of the camera, while the 1-inch, 20.1 MP sensor is capable of achieving excellent levels of detail. It's quite bulky for a bridge camera, and there's no getting away from the hefty price. But the RX10 4 is virtually in a league of its own and is perhaps even deserving of a better name than bridge. The CyberShot RX10 4 is Sony's latest high-end bridge camera, aimed at the enthusiast who wants an advanced all-in-one camera that doesn't compromise on performance. It was long ago that bridge cameras were a dirty word in photography. They may have looked like DSLRs, but their performance and image quality were anything but. But, thanks to the likes of the original CyberShot RX10, with its 1-inch sensor, that all changed. Number 2. Panasonic Lumix FZ2000/. If your budget doesn't quite stretch to RX10 4 levels but you still want something top quality, flexible and with great image quality, the Panasonic Lumix FZ2000, known as the FZ2500 in the US, is an excellent choice. It uses a 1-inch sensor, and while the zoom tops out at 400 ATEM equivalent, which is relatively short for bridge camera, that's still plenty for all but the most extreme everyday use. We'd certainly sacrifice a little zoom range for better and faster optics, and we love the FZ2000 because it delivers both image quality and zoom range. If you're looking for something a bit cheaper, the older F-Zone below is also worth a look, as is its successor, the F-Zone 2. Number 3. Panasonic Lumix F-Zone. The Lumix F-Zone 6X optical zoom is less than that of typical bridge cameras, but that's due to its sizable 1-inch sensor, which delivers a big boost in image quality. This isn't just any old lens, either, but rather a Leica optic with a large f/2.8 maximum aperture at the wide-angle end, which narrows to a still respectable f/4 at full zoom. This helps you capture shots in low light without resorting to high ISO sensitivities, while the hybrid 5-axis optical image stabilization minimizes camera shake. 4K, Ultra HD, strictly 3840x 2160 video recording, advanced autofocusing, a superb 2,359,000 electronic viewfinder, and raw shooting all help to make the F-Zone 1000 one of our top picks. Note that Panasonic replaced the F-Zone 1000 with the F-Zone 2 this year, but as more of a gentle refresh than complete rebrand, making the older model the best value right now. Number 4. Sony CyberShot RX10 3. As is often the case with Sony, you can make decent savings if you look towards its extensive back catalog. In this case, if you can live without the advanced AF system and other performance advantages offered by the RX10 4, the RX10 3 is still worth a look. The design is pretty much identical to the RX10 4, and you've got the same 24-600 f/2.44 lens. Well, the AF is a bit pedestrian compared to the latest model, while there's no touchscreen control or the ability to shoot at an impressive 24 fps. The Sony RX10 3 was announced in March this year, less than a year after the RX10 2, which, according to Sony, the new camera doesn't replace. The most noticeable difference is the inclusion of a variable aperture, f/2.44 mega zoom lens, with a reach of 625x optical and 100x digital zoom, and with this comes a substantial increase in size and weight. Number 5. Canon PowerShot SX70HS. Canon's PowerShot SX70HS is what we'd consider more conventional bridge camera than those found in the top 4. That's because it uses a smaller 1/2.3-inch sensor, which gives you the advantage of a ginormous 65x optical zoom range. You still get full manual control, along with other great features such as a fully articulated screen. It lacks touch sensitivity though, a decent electronic viewfinder, and the ability to shoot in RAW format. Inbuilt Wi-Fi and NFC is another bonus. This is a classic all-rounder which would suit those looking for something relatively small and light for trips such as safaris, where that big zoom comes into its own. A bugbear is having to activate the viewfinder manually since there's no sensor, but otherwise it's a solid performer. Image quality is very good, with the image stabilization system doing a good job of keeping captures even at the extreme end of the telephoto lens shard. Shooting at the wide angle and low light are not this camera's forte, but there's good autofocus performance and speedy operation to compensate. Number 6. Panasonic Lumix FC80. The Lumix FC80, known as the Lumix FC82 outside the US, might be one of the most affordable bridge cameras here, but it still packs quite a punch. The zoom range is very impressive, going from an ultra-wide 20 through to a staggering 1200, and benefits from an effective image stabilization system. There's also 4K recording with Panasonic's 4K Photo, which can shoot 8MP images at 30 fps, meaning you should never miss that split-second moment. It's also very easy to use, with an intuitive touchscreen. The viewfinder could be better, and there's no eye sensor to automatically switch between the viewfinder and rear screen, while high ISO performance can't match that of larger sensor and more expensive rivals. That said, this is one of the best budget bridge cameras around. Number 7. Nikon Coolpix P950. It doesn't quite have the Nikon P1000's ludicrous 125x optical zoom range, but the P950's 83 zoom is more than enough for most people in most situations. If you like to mainly shoot landscapes or wildlife on your travels, it remains a good contender, particularly if you're coming from another Nikon camera. The 3 big improvements over the P900 are support for RAW shooting, for greater flexibility when editing images, 4K video resolution, and a much improved electronic viewfinder. Collectively, these make it more user-friendly and versatile than its predecessor, though it is also worth looking out for deals on the Nikon P900. We'd like to have seen a touchscreen added too, but the P950 remains a good option if zoom is your main priority. Number 8. Nikon Coolpix P1000. The Coolpix P1000 is the follow-up to the P900 and stretches what we've come to expect from super zoom cameras that bit further. The reason is the lens, with the P1000 packing in a massive 125x optical zoom range equivalent to 24-3035 terms. It has the potential to home in on the most distant subjects you realistically want to capture, be it wildlife or the moon. If you absolutely need a camera with a 3000 equivalent lens, the fact that the P1000 is alone in offering this makes your decision easy. With a huge body, less than reliable autofocus, a substandard LCD, and operational strifes, however, its appeal for anything else is more limited. Impossible reach. Made possible. That's how Nikon builds its latest Coolpix P1000 super zoom camera, and it stretches what we've come to expect from super zoom cameras that bit further. The reason is its lens, with a 125x optical zoom range equivalent to 24-3035 terms. It has the potential to home in on the most distant subject you realistically want to capture, be it wildlife or the moon. Number 9. Sony CyberShot HX400V. Sony's super zoom bridge camera is closely matched with the Panasonic FC82 and is available at a great price owing to its age. The downsides when compared to the FC82 include JPEG-only image capture and a lesser zoom range. But if you can live with both, it's a great budget option. The HX400V claws back some ground by offering Wi-Fi, while it's also a pleasure to use thanks to its ergonomic design, and the tilting screen is nice touch, although it isn't fully articulating. More disappointing is the relatively low-resolution electronic viewfinder. Although there's no RAW support, JPEG images have great colors and plenty of detail. Some image smoothing is visible when images are viewed at 100%, but that's a common trait among small sensor bridge cameras. Number 10. Panasonic Lumix FC300/FC330. If your main concern is the state of your finances, here's a quick look at a great value option from Panasonic. It was launched back in 2015, so it's a fair old age now, but that just makes the FC300, known as the Lumix FC330 outside the US, an even better bargain. With a 25-600 zoom lens, what's really impressive is an f/2.8 constant aperture throughout the range, which is particularly useful at the longer end of the zoom range. Top that off with a splash-resistant body, a vari-angle touchscreen, and a decent electronic viewfinder, and you've got all the makings of a great all-rounder. Impressively for an older model, it even shoots 4K, too.